Whether it's in the Disney parks here close to Orlando, across the country, or across the seas, we're going to talk about it. In the Disney parks, eye to eye in the parks, we are back once again, episode 9, with you again to talk about the magic, the happiness, all of it in any way, shape, or form, news and stuff. I'm back with you as always, your main co-host, Kyle Loomis, here in seat number 1. Back with me again at long last, Miss Brittney Reese. I know, yes. It's been a minute, hasn't it?
It's been so long.
Going on today.
I'm glad that we're finally back in the saddle doing this again. We took a kind of unexpected break.
We did. And certainly we'll address why here in a second. But we have missed a ton of stuff. I mean, there are things that we're not going to be able to talk about on this show that have happened in terms of news, exciting things. We're going to do our best to get us reset and set back into the habit of doing this particular podcast, which I know you and I enjoy doing so much together. But let's talk about what's been happening. There's been a few things. I want to talk about the good things first, because I can't talk about the bad things without the good things. Would you like to share a little bit of news for yourself, of maybe why we've been so busy lately?
Yeah, I mean, big news for me is that I'm expecting a baby in September. Woo-hoo. So we've been, going crazy, preparing for that, doing nursery, baby showers. So it's been a chaotic but exciting time.
Yes, it has been chaotic and cranked, and it's been good. And we're excited to welcome into the family a new little niece that I'm going to train very quickly to love Donald Duck. So I just hope you are
prepared. She will love all things Disney. Don't you worry. I mean, considering we called her Daisy Duck for the first several months that we knew about her, she's destined to like Donald and Daisy.
That's fair. I think she's already set up nicely for that. I just want to go ahead and just make it known that I am going to make sure that girl loves the ducks a lot, especially Donald. And as he sits above me right now in the shot, the little thing that your husband found for me.
That is acceptable. I will allow you to pressure her into liking Donald.
We'll do our best to do that. At least I would. I don't know if Jessica will do. She'll probably fight back. She'll be pushing Minnie on her or something else of that nature type of thing. So congrats to Brittney and Ryan and to our family. We're excited for that. Certainly that could play into some future schedule things, but we've already been talking about how we're going to manage that for the future. So our plan is to get going here pretty quickly. We on the other end, that's the happy news. We have not had a super fun time other than getting to go to Disney, especially on a surprise trip with Brittney and our family. We had lost our 2 cats back to back very quickly, so that was a bit of a trying time. We had a wedding, which is a good thing, I guess, to go to with my side of the family. So basically, it's just been one of those seasons of lives for when's the last time we did an episode, Brittney?
Gosh, it was like March or April. I feel like it's been a while.
April feels about right, May, June, and now we're here at the end of July. So maybe even, like you said, March feels about right.
A trip recap from our
February
trip. Is that when we went?
That's the last time we did one together. Yeah. So March is probably correct. And we did that one pretty quickly. By the way, you guys could go check that one out because we had a fun time. We even had Ryan on the show.
Yep.
So that was a big shock to me that we got him to be on the show that day. But anyway, so just explanations for what's been going on and why we've been so busy. We have certainly not shied away from going to Disney World during that time or staying abreast of all the stuff that's been going on in the space, but that's what's been going on. I do want to share something with the audience, yes, but with you, Brittney, this thing that I think you'll appreciate. Speaking of the wedding that I had to attend, check out this mug right here. I'm gonna make sure the camera can get up on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Disney Adult. And I know there's some fine print on there that you can't really read. And those listening on the audio portion, I know you're like, what is he showing? It says Disney Adult, 100% kids at heart or kid at heart, stress-free. Contents may vary in pixie dust, joy, and magic. And there's even more on that. And it's got like warding symbols and stuff down at the bottom with like certain things on there. So this is one of my portion of my groomsman gift for my brother who got married out there. He gave a mug for everybody that kind of fits their likes, their personalities. So I figured you might approve of this.
I think he got you spot on with that one.
Yeah, I don't know about stress-free though. That one feels a little bit
I don't know. I feel like out of the 5 of us, you're pretty low stress compared to everybody else.
I'm clipping that right now so Jessica can hear that going back. But that is like I mean, there's been a lot of things since we've been gone that have been on top of my mind Disney wise, but this was just like a cool little thing I wasn't expecting from my brother. Board games, he gave that mug to my other brother, and he is definitely the board game snob of all of us. But that's it. I'm officially, I guess, now a Disney adult. If it wasn't,
Now, are you actually going to drink out of that mug, or is that going to be just a dust collector in the?
Just like this, I've been doing some streams for us on TikTok, and so every once in a while you get some trolls on there and go, "Oh, a Disney adult." So I just go, proud of it, boy. Like, just show it off. I'm like, if you think that's a slight towards me, you got another thing coming.
Like, I'm well aware you're not dissing me at all.
You're not dissing me out. Anything interesting else for you other than before we get into the main stuff today, or anything that comes to mind?
No other big news other than what we've already talked about. We've been to, I think between the both of us since our last podcast, we've been to Disney 4 times, counting.
You beat me now.
I've been 3 and you've been 1, so combined 4. So we've got plenty of Disney news and updates to share with y'all.
Yeah, we have been doing our due diligence to make sure that we're up to date on things, or at least experiencing the magic a little bit. So let's jump into that now. I think it would be a great thing for us to start a segment here with you, Brittney, obviously as our preferred Disney travel agent, I guess. But
that's fine.
We should give you an opportunity not only to talk about that, but this is something I think is a very important. We're obviously focused on Disney parks, and if you're planning a trip, there are dates, closures, events, deals that you need to be aware of, and we want to give you a space to talk about that, because I know some people who may be thinking about planning trips, whether they're working with you or not, are going to be very interested in that. So what's some dates that people need to know?
So like Kyle was saying, real quick, I just kind of want to run through some promos and big dates that Disney has thrown out there, just to give us an idea of what we're looking at the next couple months, and really throughout the remainder of the year and even into 2026 a little bit. So we'll just start with Magic Kingdom. They've announced that Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is going to be closing on August 4th. They haven't announced a reopening date. It says sometime in 2026. So that's going to get a pretty big refurbishment, it sounds like, which is, I think, well overdue. The little gun systems that they've got going on, it just seems really outdated. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do. The concept art looks pretty cool for that.
Yeah, I was excited about that too. And here's the thing. The last time I rode it, I broke the record. Now, I've done it before, but I finally figured out how to do it without cheating, like some other people who looked up the rules.
I'm sure you knew where you were aiming at, though.
Trial and error from years and years of doing that. But I am excited I think it needs a little TLC in its time.
Yeah, definitely. There's plenty of rides there that do, and some of them are on this list. The next one is the Little Mermaid, Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid, also undergoing a refurbishment. It's pretty short, though. It's only July 21st to 25th, so don't expect to see any major changes there.
Right.
And then everything else is things that have already closed or reopened. So we sadly had to say goodbye to Tom Sawyer Island and the Liberty Bell. It closed on July 6th.
Pour one out for Tom Sawyer's Island. I couldn't make it over there. I'm so sad about that.
And then something I didn't know about until I was just doing my research was the Walt Disney World Railroad is undergoing some refurbishment. And I think it might have to do with the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad construction that's going on, because the Frontierland station is closed. Yes.
So what I heard, and you probably know better about it than me, I think what I read was that because of the Tom Sawyer's Island closing, the construction beginning for that car section up that they're now not only going to go to a refurb time, but it's only going to go to Fantasyland, I think, for a time. Like it's going to be like
just like a shuttle service. They described it as.
It's literally just doing this like back and forth now, which is, I feel like we haven't gotten a full experience for an extended period of time on the train. Have you done the train before?
I have, but I haven't gone all the way around. It was just from Main Street to Frontierland.
I feel like it's either halfway, partial, 3/4, and now we're getting like a third or a quarter of whatever it is. I know we're getting good things out of it, but it's time for us to finally get a full ride back on that at some point.
Well, I think we might have a long way to go for that.
I know.
Astro Orbiter is reopened.
That's
exciting. And, I just was there less than a week ago, and that was on my list of things to do and just didn't get it done.
Nice.
So we didn't even step foot in Tomorrowland, so I have no idea what it even looks like.
Wait a minute.
I know.
You didn't even do People Mover?
Nope. We were so hot, Kyle. Come on.
That's the perfect place if you're hot.
We had our lightning lanes lined up for Adventureland and Fantasyland, and by the time that parade was over, which quick plug for the parade, we'll get to that.
Oh, we'll get to that.
We were like, we got to go. We're too hot. But I'm excited that that's open because I do really like that ride.
I did have someone on these TikTok streams ask me, Kyle, if you had to go stay on one ride the entire time. And I related it back to heat. I said, People Mover is the perfect place because you're under an overhang the entire time. And, you can still get a breeze going by on that. And you can go inside a little bit. And if you have to ride it like all day, that was the scenario they put up. Then you can see all the different people running by throughout the day, the fireworks at night. People Mover is perfect. And I'm so ashamed.
I mean, I love it for sure. And I'm really sad I didn't do it either, but I have done it several times before.
I know.
Okay, let's see what else we got. Disney, like I was just talking about the parade, the Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away premiered on July 20th. So that's officially good to go. It's every night from at 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock. So it is right before and after the fireworks. So it pairs really nicely if you're trying to see both. So that's all really from Magic Kingdom. From Epcot, I've got the cute little Encanto show, the Celebración Encanto.
I saw that.
It was just supposed to be for the summer, and they've extended it indefinitely. So I think that's great. I love Encanto. Never seen the show, but I would love to next time, if it all worked out. You got to see it, didn't you?
Yeah, quick plug. I'll mention what I saw there. We went over there and tried the Goofy's Eat Station. Outstanding too, by the way. I know we haven't talked about that. May not have time to. But I actually, when they came up and I saw what it was going to be, I was like, this is going to be kind of hokey. But I kind of enjoyed it. They got the characters out there and really interacted and did dancing lines with people and stuff. And even on a hot day out there, and there is some shade over there that you can utilize. But it was a lot of fun. I think there's not a lot over there in that particular part of what used to be Innoventions, but I think it works well. So I'm glad they're extending it.
Yeah. And then we've got Spaceship Earth is closing for a little bit. It starts August 25th is when it closes, and it just says TBD for opening date. I don't think it's supposed to be a long closure. I think I read it was just going to be a couple weeks to a month or so, which is fine. I mean, I don't really know what I would expect or want them to do with Spaceship Earth because it is such a classic. You don't want them to do a significant refurb to it, but also it does need a little TLC. So
yeah, it does. It really does.
Yeah. And then last one I got for Epcot is Test Track is opened. It opened on the 22nd.
Yes. Now I did warn people because people were asking me, have you gotten to do the Test Track? And I was like, it wasn't open when we were there. I said, Brittney's just there. She wasn't able to do it. I said, so we're not going to have firsthand experience of it, but I've tried to stay away a little bit from some of the videos, just not to ruin the full experience, but it's hard to miss some of it.
Yeah.
It looks like a good combo of what you and I know as Test Track, but the old version as well, while still staying futuristic. So I'm excited to ride that one for the first time. I am too. 70 miles an hour around a bank curve. If that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will.
All right, let's see. Next let's do Hollywood Studios. So we did have the opportunity when you and I were there with our family in June to see their two new shows, the Villains Unfairly Ever After and The Little Mermaid musical. I guess you didn't come with Ryan and I to see the Villains show.
I was not able to because we were doing something else. Oh, Rock and Roller Coaster, of course. I had to do it. That would be the last time I'd do Rock and Roller Coaster before they changed it. So I had to get that one in. I'm sorry.
I didn't get to say goodbye to that. I'm sad.
I'm sorry. I didn't get to say goodbye to Tom Sawyer's Island, so we both missed out, I guess.
Okay. Well, I will say I was pretty disappointed in the Villain show. It was really corny. I mean, what do you expect from a Disney show? But it was too interactive. They were getting the crowd involved, which I don't know. I just thought it was a little over the top corny. Not rushing back to see that one again. I liked the new Little Mermaid show. I liked it better than the Villain show. But I mean, again, I'm not rushing back to see it. Yeah. I thought some of the puppets and the just general animatronics of it all were a little lackluster. I don't know. I just kind of expected a little more.
As somebody who saw the previous one, it definitely plays off of what they used to do. And I think if you saw the last one, you probably would like it a little bit more because you could see how much effort went into making it more. And I'm happy that giant Ursula animatronic is still utilized, or whatever it is, puppet and animatronic or something like that. It's again, like you said, it's not something that you rush to do, but it's a nice space filler if you need to get out of the heat, especially if you're going this time of year.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely great in June, to be able to sit down for 20 minutes and see a show, especially for the first time. But I would not be prioritizing either one of those shows over a ride if we were to go back.
Sure.
Yeah. What else do we got? Rock and Roller Coaster, as we know, is going to be closing in 2026. They have confirmed that it's open through the rest of the year, but it will be closing in 2026. And they're planning for it to reopen in 2026. So I'm hoping it'll be a quick turnaround and we won't have to wait forever for this refurb.
I hope so, but I hope they do it right. I don't want them to rush this. If they're
Right.
going to do it, if they're going to be putting Muppets in there, I know people are already skeptical about it. So let's do this thing right and make it actually. I'm excited about it, and I just want them to do justice to the ride, the Muppets, all that stuff to make it all marry together well.
And I think, kind of talking about all the rides that were due for a refurb, Rock and Roller Coaster was definitely one of them. Like, no shade to Aerosmith, but I think we were done with that. Everyone was ready for something new. People had been pushing for Queen for so long, which, in my opinion, I was like, if we're going to refurb Rock and Roller Coaster, don't do it to Queen, because they're just kind of like a lateral move. Like, you want to do something that's like new and fresh and exciting.
I 100% agree. Queen would have been a great choice 10 years ago, probably. Or if they had changed the band every few years, that would have been a great choice. But I'm glad the Muppets have a space, and I think the Electric Mayhem fits it perfectly.
Yep. And then let's see. For Hollywood Studios, also Muppets Courtyard's closed, kind of piggybacking off the Muppets theme. So we said goodbye to 3D Vision and Pizza Rizzo, all that.
I'm pouring one out again. All the good stuff is gone now.
But oh my gosh, we're going to be rewarded.
I know it's good. Walt Disney said it himself. It's not a museum. I understand, but I can still be upset about that I don't get to ride the raft over to Tom Sawyer's or see the Miss Piggy fountain anymore. It's so sad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll stop ruining the vibe. I'm sorry.
Yeah, buzzkill. And then last but not least, we got Animal Kingdom. It's been confirmed that Dinosaur will remain open through all of 2025 as well, and it will close in 2026 for that Indiana Jones re-theme. Boneyard's also closing September 2nd.
Yep.
So, slowly, little by little, we're losing Dino Land.
It's just like slowly, like bleeding. Easing us into it. Better than
all at once, I guess. We'll take the little step-by-step closures.
Well, the other way too is it's kind of been slowly dying when they took away Primeval World, which you never got to do, right?
No.
Oh man, that thing would make you hurt so bad, but it was such a good ride though too.
Something I would love.
Well, you really needed like something kind of, I guess, slightly thrilling over there to with Dinosaur, but anyway, it's been a long time gone. Another thing we can pour one out for. Sorry, this has just become depressing at this point.
And then I will throw into also, they have announced that Blizzard Beach is going to be closing for the season on September 8th, which we've had a really rare time right now where both Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach are open. Usually they will alternate. Yeah. So they've both been open since May. Yeah. So we will be saying goodbye to Blizzard Beach.
Well, it'll be back at some point, but they gotta manage that as well as they can. Once again, I have yet to be at Blizzard Beach. We had to go to Typhoon Lagoon the last time we were there because it's the best water park in Disney World, but I know that's going to be a hot take for some people out there, so I'll just I'll leave it at that. I think it's one of the best ones I've been to, if not the best at Walt Disney World. Is that all our news and dates and refurbs?
Well, last thing I will say is the Skyliner is going to also be refurbished, and it is January 25th through 31st of 2026. So if you're staying on the Skyliner, Pop Century, Art of Animation, Caribbean Beach, Riviera, just be aware, because that's one of the biggest draws to stay at those 4 resorts. Just be aware that Skyliner will not be accessible for that week.
Yeah. Obviously a big factor for those resorts that you get to stay at. It's one of the reasons we decide to stay there so often. So please be aware of that. So you won't be disappointed, which is a great segue into, if you're going to stay places, are there any deals out right now that people need to be aware of?
Yes. Well, before we get into the deals, just want to do a quick plug for myself. I am a travel agent specializing in Disney and Universal. I work for a company called Academy Travel. So if you would like my assistance in planning your vacation, please reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram at Brittney Vacations. It's BRITTNEY Vacations. Yeah. But just real quick, we'll go through some of the Walt Disney World. This is Disney World specific. I do Disneyland, Disney Cruise, Alani, but I'm just going to run through the Disney World promos that we have going on right now. So the big one that I think you're going to be interested in, Kyle, not sure if you knew this existed, was they have a Georgia resident special going on right now.
Say more.
Yes.
You say less, I guess I should say. Say less. What do we got?
So this is for specifically November 16th to 29th and December 12th to 25th. There are special savings available for only select resorts. It's not all resorts. It's going to be All-Star Sports, Port Orleans, Art of Animation, Saratoga Springs, Boardwalk, and Animal Kingdom Lodge. So it's a pretty wide variety there. You got moderate, value, deluxe. And I've never heard of Disney doing anything for anyone other than Florida residents. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it's not shocking me. They're coming so well connected in terms of like tourism and stuff like that. And they recognize everybody is running through Georgia, coming from the north to get to Disney World if they're not flying. So I think it makes a lot of sense to reward the Georgia people. So I'm happy about that. We'll look into it. We'll talk.
I was happy about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so another one they got. This is for everyone. You can save up to 20% most nights, October 12th to December 25th. And that also comes with a $100 dining and shopping promo card when you have at least a 4-day ticket.
Nice.
Pretty good if you're looking to travel during the holidays. And then this goes for August 1st to October 11th. You can save up to 30% on 5-night plus stay.
Nice. Very nice. So once again, Brittney Vacations at Brittney Vacations on Instagram. Hit her up there. And obviously she's a fun follow on Instagram as well with all her stuff in the parks.
Crazy videos.
No, they're great. And I enjoy following them myself. But also I'm going to use this as a tease into what we'll get into when we talk about your trip. At the last segment, we got beef to talk about. You and I got beef. So
do we?
Yes, we do. But so those are your dates. Those are your deals. Work with Brittney. It's a great opportunity for you to go experience the magic, and she's a great one to work with. I want to spend some time talking about just some major topics that have come out, and some of these are in the like announcements and news space. Probably actually all of them are. Let's start with one that is pretty fresh, like yesterday, I think, as of us recording this show. Most of you know that the animation Courtyard for Disney's Hollywood Studios is been a little bit confused about its identity for quite some time. Not only was it missing the Little Mermaid show forever, that's back, but it also has had Launch Bay, which, Brittney, I know that you're not the biggest Star Wars fan, but for me and your husband, Launch Bay, when it first arrived and we started going to Disney, even without you, does that give you FOMO to think about us going without you?
I just can't believe there was ever fun times had before I was in the picture.
We loved Launch Bay and still, I think, love it in some sense because of what it did for us. It allowed us to get excited for what was then called Star Wars Land to become Galaxy's Edge while that was being built. Well, the announcement came down that the primary news is that is going to be leaving. Launch Bay is leaving, but it's also part of a refocusing, I want to call it a retheme of that area, the animation Courtyard, back to kind of what its purpose was and what its vision was. Some people said that Monstropolis should have gone there. I think so too, but I digress. That's neither here nor there. But they are now going to take that building that Launch Bay was in as part of this big change to back to what it was and the magic of Disney animation. Now, Brittney, did you see the Once Upon a Studios thing on Disney Plus?
Yes. Was that the 100th anniversary special they put out? Yes, I did.
It was. Now, if you haven't watched it, you should. It gets you all in the feels because
it was very emotional. It was very short. It's only like 12 to 15 minutes. So if you can watch it.
Absolutely. And I would say it's prerequisite for what's coming there, because what they're doing is taking that building and turning it back to some of its original things by putting the animation classes back in there, similar to what they do at the Animal Kingdom, but just different themes and options and stuff like that. But it's going to be what sounds like an interactive walk through play area, meet and greet area about Disney animation, and kind of playing off of that short where everything comes to life is what they say. And apparently there's going to be an indoor playground in there as well. I can only imagine the screams and stuff that are going to be coming. Although it may come in very much handy for you and Ryan very soon.
Yes, give her a place to run around and get that energy out.
So that's something to look forward to for the family reasons. But it's nice to have it going back. The hat's coming back, folks.
Yes, I am so excited about that hat.
It is
Photo op.
not. It's not. It is a photo op. It's not the original hat that most people think of that was out there in the middle, but it's
We'll
still
take what
gonna
we
look
can
cool.
get. You know,
We'll take what we can get, and it's supposed to make you think of the actual headquarters out there in Burbank, California, for Disney as well.
Yeah.
So you couple that with the Little Mermaid show being redone, coming back. They still have Walt Disney Presents, which is, I always call it one man's dream, a walkthrough exhibit, which I love. I know nobody else does, but I do. And then they've got the Playhouse Disney thing over there. It's called like Play and
Disney
Dance.
Junior Dance, and
That's what it's called. I used to call it Playhouse Disney because that's what it used to be called. But that is staying, getting a reworking for all of that as well. So you're about to have, along with that, changing around the courtyard area of it, a brand new land. It almost kind of feels like,
Yeah.
I guess going back to the original of this. So any opinions, Brittney, about Launch Bay leaving us officially in a few months or whatever it is?
Yeah, I've been to Launch Bay a few times, and I think it's a cool experience to walk through to see all the Star Wars artwork, posters. They have some meet and greets there. It has just always felt very out of place. I feel like Star Wars is so unnecessarily spread out throughout that park when you have Galaxy's Edge, so you have Star Tours, and then you have Launch Bay, and they're like not all connected. Like they're back here and over here and over here. So I'm hoping that they're going to, I don't know if they've announced what they're going to do with everything that's in Launch Bay yet, if they're going to move it somehow to Galaxy's Edge. I would assume the meet and greets, they are going to move to Galaxy's Edge. But I mean, I think this is good. I think this is a good thing. I think Launch Bay is misplaced. I think it's outdated. Again, there's nothing new. Like you're not giving me anything new. It's the same walkthrough every time. So I'm excited for this. I think now I don't know if this is what I necessarily would have chose to replace Launch Bay with, but I'm just glad that Disney's doing something and we're trying and we're getting something new. So it's a win for me.
Well, that whole area has just needed some TLC. Like it, like you said, it felt disjointed. It felt out of place. Now it made sense back in the day to get people excited, and people loved it. I remember going to it the first time. I was like, oh, this is awesome to get us excited. But now we've got Galaxy's Edge. So I like your idea of putting it somewhere else. I think there's some space right next to Star Tours where maybe you could build a nice little building to homage and put some of that stuff to walk through in, because that's what it's about, is walking through the movies and stuff. That might be a great solution for that. I want to make one, before we move on, I want to make one point about this area and less about Launch Bay. I think they missed a big opportunity here, Brittney, and that is to turn I always call it Playhouse Disney, the Disney Junior thing, which is going to get a retheme. I think that, I've looked at a map. I think there's room for it. Should have been turned in some form of an animation themed dark ride. I think we need one more family, easy type of tell a story ride in Hollywood Studios. And maybe that's coming down the line. I don't know. Are
you thinking like great movie ride vibes?
Ooh, the great movie and the great animated movie ride.
Wow.
Look what we just did here on this show. Disney, you're welcome.
Get Disney on the phone right now.
I like that. So that's even, Brittney, that's brilliant. I love that. I was just thinking, pick an animated movie that doesn't have a dark ride yet and just tell the story of the movie like they do on some of the others. Aladdin doesn't get enough love. What Aladdin magic carpet ride through, the story would be kind of fun. I know there's the thing in the middle of Adventureland. We won't get into that, why that's there. But I like your idea a lot better. The story of Disney animation, or telling just a fun little tale about being in an animated great movie ride. Oh man, that was brilliant. I didn't expect us to go there, but I love that idea. We'll see what other people think about it. Other things that we want to hit that are major news. This is more Disneyland, and obviously our folk is Disney World. But I got to hear Brittney's opinion about this, because I know you saw they debuted the Walt Disney animatronic at Disneyland on Main Street. They've always had the Abraham Lincoln one that you could go see, which is very historical for the building of animatronics with Walt Disney. But they announced that they were going to do this, add an animatronic for Walt Disney, and it's called Walt Disney: A Magical Life, and allow him to tell the story of his, the beginning of the company, all that kind of stuff. Of course, you get the line in it. It all started with a mouse. Have you seen the clips of the animatronic, Brittney?
So I've seen short clips
Yeah.
on Instagram, pictures. I haven't watched the full animatronic through yet, though. I don't know what the full spiel is,
Well, I
but it
haven't either.
looks really cool.
I think it looks really good in terms of what they are trying to do is honor what he would look like when he left us, to make sense. Like he was in that grandpa, Uncle Walt state. I think some people are being a little critical of it and saying it looks a little bit bigger than he would, like the face and stuff like that. But
Okay.
you got to hide all these stuff in there, like you got to make it move this fluidly, to be this lifelike. You've got to be able to fit all that stuff in there and still make it look like him. So I think people have been a little picky about it. I think it's cool. I would love to go do that if we ever go back out to Disneyland again. I don't know if you've seen the clip of it, which is just showing you how far animatronics has come. He sits on a table and then stands up on his own and starts doing his thing.
No, I don't think I've seen that. That's really cool. I'll have to go watch it.
He's more leaning, but even still, to have an animatronic lean up and then start doing its spiel, I was like, hey, man.
Now, do you think this animatronic is better than the shaman on Navi River Journey?
Oh, no. The Navi River Journey is literally doing this. Have you ever seen the malfunction for that too? Like when it's like.
Okay, no, knock on wood, I have never not seen that shaman running perfectly.
Oh, well, you've got some good luck, but there's some videos online. If you go and look at it, it's terrifying watching it just lose its mind.
Having an exorcism moment.
Oh, even worse than that, I think. Like I've seen some of the things. I'm like, I would have nightmares for weeks about that if I've witnessed the shaman messing up like that. But all that to be said, look, and there were some videos of it kind of malfunctioning. It didn't do too bad. I think it's a great thing. I love it's all. We're here doing this show because Walt Disney started everything with a mouse. So we got to honor the man in whatever we can. I think it's a great way to do that. Finally, let's go back to Disney World. One final thing that I wanted us to talk about today, and it'll be a great segue into our last topic, which is your trip. But there was a big debut for nighttime stuff at Disney World. And what do I always say, Brittney? Everything's better at night.
Oh, everything's better at night. Yes. This parade definitely is. There's no way that this would hold a candle to anything happening in the daytime. I thought it was fantastic.
And this is someone, right? You just heard someone say that right there, that until recently didn't consider herself a parade girl and has slowly started to do that. And it sounds like this was the final nail in the coffin for you finally becoming a parade girl.
Yes, definitely. We'll
go
just kind of segue into how I got to see this parade. My best friend and I were on a trip to Disney World. This was just this past weekend. And the parade was supposed to debut on, I think it was July 20th. Is that what I said?
Yeah,
I think July 20th.
Yeah.
And we were there July 18th to 21st. And we already told ourselves, like, we're not going to go on the 20th. We're not going to go on the 20th. It's going to be crazy. Everyone's going to be there in Magic Kingdom on the night of the 20th. But Disney surprised us, and they did a surprise early viewing of the parade on the 18th and 19th. And we just so happened to be in Magic Kingdom on the evening of the 19th. So we got to see a special early premiere of the Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away parade. And it was, a 10 out of 10. It was awesome. It runs from Main Street through Frontierland, but it runs backwards.
Mm-hmm.
The Festival of Fantasy runs Frontierland to Main Street. It was so cool. Like everything, there's a million lights on everything. Everything was lit up. There was characters that you don't typically see on floats, like the fairy from Pinocchio. She's like the star of the show. Really cool floats ranging from Coco, which was really cool. Frozen and Kanto.
I saw Wish was in there too.
Wish was there. Yeah, so it was definitely more of the newer age movies. But then there were some classics too. Like there was a float that had Belle and the Beast and Aurora and the Prince. It was a big, wide variety of representation. But I thought it was cool to see more of the newer characters.
Yeah. Well, you're seeing that trend now when they even recently, somewhat recently, updated Happily Ever After. They put more of the quote unquote more modern characters more often throughout, because you're moving into an age where people are more familiar with those things, but you still got to honor the past. And I think they did a good job of that. I know you're not going to be aware of it probably, or maybe you are, but from my understanding from some clips I've seen, at the end or with the main float area with Mickey, Goofy, all them, or maybe it's at the end or something like that. They play a little bit of an homage to the old electrical street parade with the dun 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 dun. Dun. That's in there.
So I will say I did not know what it was when I saw it, but from social media, I learned that that's what it was, and it is in there. So it is really cool. Yeah,
that is awesome. See, that is how you do it. If you're gonna change something, you got to still honor the thing that was so beloved in the Main Street Electrical Parade was great, and even before that, it was called Spectro Magic, and I have like vivid memories. I can hear I'm not going to sing that song. I'm not going to bore y'all with no I'm not even going to like hum it because I won't do it justice. Go look up Spectro Magic. To me, that's awesome. I love the fact that this is back. There's a parade at night. Can I ask you, how did it do with crowd situation? Like, I know there's 2 showings of it, but
so I mean, I think the fact that this was unexpected helped with crowd management. But we lined up maybe like 30 minutes before it started. And I mean, we were back in Frontierland, and most people are trying to watch it on Main Street, so you can just stay there for the fireworks. You don't have to migrate back to the front. But we weren't interested in seeing fireworks that night, so we just went to Frontierland. And I mean, we were still like second row back, lining up 30 minutes early on a night that it wasn't supposed to premiere. So, I mean, I imagine that at least these first couple months, it's going to be really busy, and you're going to want to line up like an hour in advance.
Yeah, especially if you're going to be trying to get in the hub, Main Street area.
Especially if you're going to try to watch from Main Street or the hub.
Which, it's always great to watch from those locations because it makes it more special for pictures and things like that. But you've got to figure out if that's worth time and investment for you. Same thing with the fireworks. You've got to figure out what's worth it to you, sitting there and waiting to get a really good spot, which you can get some really good spots for. But just keep that in mind when you're doing this for I almost called it the Main Street Electrical Parade, the Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away Parade. If you had a favorite float, which one would it be?
Probably the Encanto one.
Okay.
Yeah, but I love Encanto. Yeah.
I know you do. You know which one mine's. It's going to be the Coco one. Most likely.
The Coco one was really fun too.
So maybe when we have a need for a fun little segment, we'll go rewatch, and I'll do since I didn't get to do it in person like you, we'll go rank the floats or something like that on a next episode. But we at least wanted to talk about it a little bit. This is a great opportunity and segue into our final topic, and that is the rest of your trip. You've already blessed us with the living vicariously through you to see Starlight Parade, and the fact that you got lucky enough for that one. We're just jealous. I want you to talk about your trip, but you and I first. I've already expressed I was jealous. We got beef though, Brittney, that we got to handle.
Oh gosh! All right, lay it on me. Oh, I think I know what this is about.
Yeah, you want to own up to the beef that we got?
Is it because I stayed at the Polynesian?
It is because you stayed at the Polynesian before me. Do you understand how jealous? How much I've been having to grin and bear it every time I've looked at your lovely post on Instagram and just go.
Well, I think when I dive into the full review of this trip, maybe it'll make you feel not quite so bad.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, why don't you give us the full thing? But just know we got a little beef that they may have to.
It's the principle of the matter.
Okay. What do we got? Tell us about it.
So I'll just real quick do a run through of the trip. So like I said, this was a trip that my best friend and I went on. It was just a long weekend trip. We had the opportunity to stay at the Polynesian in just a standard room. It was a deluxe studio, but it was a just standard view room. When you say deluxe studio, you think you get, it's not 2 full bathrooms, but you have one bathroom that has sink, toilet, tub, shower combo, and then another bathroom that has a sink and a shower. So that was really nice that we both had our own little areas. And you do have a kitchenette with an actual refrigerator and microwave. So it's not the little beverage cooler. So that's what differentiates a deluxe studio versus a regular studio.
Okay.
I did not realize, having just visited the Polynesian, how huge that resort is.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's nothing compared to Caribbean Beach, Port Orleans, Riverside, Coronado, but it is still very large. We, of course, were in the farthest building from the ceremonial house, which worked out well at times because we were very close to the TTC. So sometimes we would just walk to the TTC to get on the monorail.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, the weekend that we were there, heat advisories, it was heat index of 107, 108. So just even the little 7-8 minute walk from our our room to the lobby felt like a trek through the desert. And I mean, at the end of the day, now granted, we did set aside a lot of time for the resort time, just because when you're at the Poly, you want to hang out at the Poly pool and get your Dole Whip and just sit in the lobby and take in all the sights and smells.
Just keep digging it in. You just got you're digging. The beef is growing bigger now. Go ahead.
But, I mean, I think we were still out and about a lot between our full park day, going to Disney Springs, resort hopping, and thank goodness, I did have the opportunity to, use my travel agent benefits, and I wasn't quite paying full price for this trip. But if I was paying full price, I think I would have been a little disappointed with, again, how far my room was from the lobby.
Yeah.
With food options, I mean, the food is good. Obviously, we love Ohana. We did Ohana breakfast, which was great. But there's just not as many as some of the other resorts. When you think about Grand Floridian and Contemporary, places like that, there's
Wilderness
so many.
Wilderness Lodge has got a lot of options as well.
Right. And I mean, at Polynesian, you have Ohana, you have Kona, and Captain Cook's. And then you've got pool bars.
Yeah.
So the dining, I don't know, it was a little lackluster in my opinion.
Okay.
I know that's a hot take, and a lot of people will die on Captain Cook's as the best quick service hill.
Now, can I just remind you, you had your epiphany that you love Disney more than Universal in Captain Cook's. So let's just acknowledge that, though.
But it does hold a special place in our heart. However, I mean, at the end of the day, Casey and I were thinking, we were like, would we stay here again over Pop Century?
Mm-hmm.
And we both said no.
Yeah. Wow, that's hot. That is a hot take for me.
Pop Century, you have the Skyliner, which I'm a big Skyliner girl. I love the Skyliner way more than the monorail. Mm-hmm. And every time we got on that monorail, it got stuck.
Yeah.
And we're in 100-degree weather. We're sitting there with our fans, and I'm like, get me off here. So I don't know. I mean, it was great. And I think if you want to stay at the Polynesian, anyone, stay at the Polynesian. It is beautiful. The smells, the sights. I mean, it's great and it's gorgeous. I think for me personally, I am not a deluxe resort girl. I like my values. I like Skyliner. I like walking into the value lobbies. The pin trading at the value resorts is 100 times better than at the deluxe resorts. I don't know what
you like pins? I never got that from you. There's nothing there's nothing behind you. I
don't know what would give anyone that idea. But all in all, I mean, of course, I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to stay at the Polynesian, and it was awesome. But at the end of the day, I don't know if I would prioritize going back there. Just with the price difference is insane if you were looking at Pop or an All-Star compared to the Polynesian. And I just don't think that the value is there for how much more you're paying.
Well, the value is literally at the value resorts. But I'll say this. I acknowledge that when I profess my love and jealousy for anybody that gets to stay at the Polynesian, that it's real. But I also acknowledge that it's so expensive to stay there, and it'll probably be a one-time thing for me in my lifetime when I've saved up enough money. I have dreams of staying in those bungalows for just 2 nights and me just doing nothing but going back to my little private patio thing you've got out there on the water with a Dole Whip and just getting refills the entire time. But I digress. I just wanted you to know we got a little beef, but I'll be okay. I'll work through it.
At least I didn't stay in the bungalow. The first time I ever stay in a bungalow, promise you'll be there too.
Okay, we'll get the family all in there together and do that. We're probably gonna have to have the family to afford to be able to stay there, put people in the floor and stuff.
We're gonna be bringing 10 plus people at least.
So okay, well, I appreciate you giving us that review of Polynesian, because I was very curious about what you thought about staying there. Real quick, you didn't go over to the new towers at all?
We did actually.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
We did.
What did you think about those?
We had. Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one tower.
Sure.
The Island Tower. But we went to the pool there. The pool was really clean feeling. I mean, it's brand new. It opened in December. I will say it was so hot there when we went to the pool that was right by our room. It literally felt like bath water. I couldn't even stay in it because I was getting hotter being in there. Mm-hmm. So then when we went to the Cove pool at the Island Tower, it was crisp, clean, so nice. Loved it. And then we had dinner one night at the Wailulu bar that's right there by that pool. Mm-hmm. That I think is my new favorite restaurant.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I did forget to mention the Wailulu bar when I was talking about
but
Polynesian.
I still think it's a separate thing, right? I know it's part of Polynesian, but it's kind of like going to Coronado Springs and Grand Destino Tower. They feel so separate from each other that you're almost separate things. But I get they're trying to also keep it still the same thing too. So to me, I have no problem with you saying that the options at the proper Polynesian resort aren't as plentiful as maybe as you like. But if you throw that in there, that's another option too.
But I mean, that was an incredible meal, and it was definitely easy on the wallet. If you know what I mean. It wasn't near as much as some of the other options at the Polynesian are. But I loved it. I think we should definitely try to go sometime in the future. Next time we're all there.
Love it. Let's do that. What else you got?
I mean, that's really it. We just had, like I said, one day at the parks where we went early morning, and then in the evening when we got to see the new parade, took a long break in the middle of the day. So hot.
Yeah.
And then our second day we were there was really just hanging out at the pool. We went to Disney Springs for a little bit. That's when we did our Ohana breakfast. Just, hung around the Polynesian. Yeah. So it was good. It was a nice, relaxing trip. It wasn't just like go, which we know Disney trips can be, but we really tried to both lay low, not get a heat stroke, and just enjoy our time at the Polynesian.
Heat stroke. She knows what that she knows what that reference is from. Well,
all too real of a possibility.
I'm glad y'all had a great time, and certainly we love living vicariously through. It's another reason you should follow Brittney on Instagram, so when she goes, that you can live vicariously through what she's doing there. So if you had to round out the discussion of your trip, if you had to say, here's my highlight and here's my low point of the trip, what was it?
I think the low point would definitely be the weather. I mean, I knew it was going to be hot. Like, going to Orlando in July, it's going to be hot. I don't think I was prepared for a 107, 108 degree heat index. I mean, there was like heat advisories the whole weekend because it was so uncontrollably hot. Luckily, we didn't have any rain, which maybe we needed. Maybe that would have cooled it off a little bit. Highlight, I think, was the dining. We went to 1900 Park Fair at the Grand Floridian. I think that might be my new favorite breakfast. I'm not big into characters. I get a little awkward with character meet and greet. So that part aside, the buffet at 1900 Park Fair is incredible.
Here, let me ask you real quick. Is it the face characters that it's awkward with?
It's both, but it's definitely more with the face characters, but both for sure. But
I get it. But if they're wearing a mask, if they're wearing a whatever, sorry kids, if you're listening to this, it's a mask. I have less of a hard time messing and interacting with them, but the face characters can be a little bit challenging to work with because you're like, how much do you want me to like play into this? Because we both know that you're playing a character.
I think they could tell that we were feeling a little awkward, so they kept it nice and short and sweet, and then moved on.
Yeah, you'll get used to it at some point, and it'll be great when my little niece and your daughter is here, and that we can live vicariously through them. They can go interact with the characters and stuff. And do all that.
So I think between 1900 Park Fair, Wailulu Bar, I'm trying to think. Oh, we did do Narcoossee's one night too at the Grand Floridian.
Ooh, how was that?
Really good.
Expensive?
Yes, but it's not like break the bank. There's definitely more expensive places that we've eaten at.
Jessica and I, on our very first trip together, it was actually going to be one of the last things we were going to go do, but we learned that we didn't have enough dining plan credits for it, so we had to cancel it, and we didn't want to spend that extra money for it. So we almost did Narcoossee's a long time ago, but it's still on that check the box type of situation. So if you think it's worth it, we need to go do it at some time in the near future. I
would love to eat at all three of those restaurants that we ate at again. They were all so good. So I think that was my highlight.
And this is what I tell people. Look, what are you going to do at Disney World? Well, I'm going to ride the rides, but I'm going to eat as well because
don't knock Disney food, man. I mean, it is not theme park food. This is like, some of it is. But some of it is like really high quality, delicious food.
It is. And if you I tell people this all the time. I understand you got to go into this with the understanding that everything's expensive. You can make sure that you curb your costs by doing some things and being creative. What is a full meal for me? Am I sharing? Am I sharing a drink? Things like that. And sometimes just do it because it's worth it. I promise you, the majority of this food that you're going to try, especially if you're branching out from hamburgers and hot dogs, which some of them are pretty good too, you're going to have a great experience for the money. It's not necessarily about the money. It's what you get for the money. And I think Disney food to me is always top notch. 99% of the time is top notch. And even if it's not great, you can go to these cast members and say, hey, this wasn't really cooked well, or I didn't really like it. And they're probably going to make it right for you, give you a special treat or something like that. So it's the Disney touch. But if that's anything else from your trip, anything else from the news segment, anything else we need to cover before we wrap up?
I think that's all. I mean, gosh, we could have talked for hours and hours just with everything that we've missed in the last couple months, but I think we did a good job of hitting the highlights.
Well, we'll do our best to stay on a more regular schedule for you all. Keep in mind that we do have, as the special announcement was, that Brittney and her husband are expecting, and so that will be happening in the near future, but we're going to work around that. We're not going anywhere, but we're going to try to get back on a more regular schedule for you guys to enjoy this. In the meantime, follow us both on Instagram. You can find our Eye to Eye in the Parks account on Facebook, YouTube, obviously the podcast, the YouTube channel, and TikTok as well. I've been doing some live streams on there to just talk with people about Disney Parks topics on occasion during the weekdays if you're interested in those things. Anything else to plug, Brittney?
I mean, like I said before, I'm a travel agent specializing in Disney. Feel free to hit me up on Instagram at Brittney Vacations, or you can comment below and we will link up somehow.
Awesome. All right. Thank you all so much for your patience with us being back, and thanks for coming back to Eye to Eye in the Parks. I don't know if Brittney remembers our sign off, so I will do. Let's see if she does.
I got it.
Oh, here we go. Until we assemble again.
May the force be with you.
And we'll see you real soon.